Recently, the National Library Board took action to remove some children's books from the shelves after feedback from members of the public. The books were deemed to be against NLB's pro-family stand, and according to the Minister for Communication and Information, do not reflect community norms. A few individuals have organised a book reading event called Let's Read Together outside the National Library, with the objective of sharing these removed books with families. The event saw a turnout of hundreds, including families, members of civil society and concerned individuals. TOC spoke to some of them.
I think children should be allowed to have access to as much knowledge as possible. I think I want them to have knowledge about things and come to me to ask questions. I think it's completely unacceptable to prevent them to discover things, and so this is why we came.
Because I think that sort of banning books like this, which to me I believe are pro-family, is just really against what a national library should be all about. I think these books should be available for even children to read. A lot of people I've been kind of talking to are saying, well, they're not age appropriate, and I think they're very age appropriate, and it really opens the door to parents and other people to have discussions whether they agree with them or not. Yes?
We have 5 children. The youngest is Maggie, this one, and all of them, as soon as we could, got library cards, and going to the library was a central part of their growing up, and it's still, I mean, we go to the library fairly often, and I borrow books from the library online every week. The library is just part and parcel of everything, and to find out that the library would censor children's books for frankly anti-family values, because we're a family formed partly by adoption. 4 of our kids are adopted, and we also are a family with a lot of gay and lesbian friends and family members. To find out that the library thinks families like ours aren't fit for normal people to have is insulting and really upsetting, because the library was supposed to be the place that you bring children to learn about the world. It's supposed to be a place that welcomes children and introduces them to the wider world, not a place where children are taught that only families with a mother and a father are acceptable, that anything else doesn't count and is invisible. So it was very, very upsetting.
I am Elaine. I have 4 kids. These are the 3 of my kids, the youngest 3. And we are here to support diversity and tolerance in society. And we want to live in a society where there's a space for everyone, where different people, different types of families can coexist harmoniously. And yeah, so that's why we're here.
I'm Jasvinder. I'm a single parent. These are my 3 children. So basically I'm here to support this event because I think there's one particular book that the library has banned as well. It's called Who's in My Family, and in that book it highlights single parents and their families. There's a variety of families that was highlighted in that book that I think is a real part of society, and when the National Library actually considered to remove those books from its collection, I think it represents, it doesn't give us a sense of belonging. We feel like as if, we're not an accepted part of society, but we are very real, we exist. We are here, we are part of, and we are a functioning part of society, and I think we should be accepted. Gay men, lesbian women, single parents. I think there's a variety of different types of families that should be accepted. It should be, and supported even by the powers that be.
I'm here to support this event because I believe that libraries should belong to everybody. That libraries should be a free space for knowledge, for learning, and for public education. I think that we're going through a very difficult time now in Singapore, where we have a very conservative, repressed right kind of, trying to influence thought, trying to, voice their own morality and their beliefs, leading to, the removal of books. I really feel that, we should not be, doing this because we are a secular society. If you read these books, they are beautiful books. These books are about taking care of each other. These books have at its core the idea of loving another human being and gives us a clue as to how we as human beings can get on with one another.
I'm here because I think that knowledge is very important, and I believe in knowing as much as we can about this world, and not through censorship, and to understand it from a diverse point of view, learning to see multiple point of view rather than just there's only one right way. And I feel that the helping or banning of any books is a very dangerous thing for society to engage in.
I'm here because I support the event. I don't support censorship because I think that the library is a national library. It's an institution that is funded by taxpayers to encourage literacy and knowledge building in this country. And it should cater for the general public, and therefore the books available should not be the books should be available and not be taken away just because a group of conservatives or fundamentalists think that they shouldn't be there. From an educational perspective, I think that children should be exposed to concepts of the real world, and obviously the book about penguins and Tango Mixed Tree. It's about a pair of real penguins. It actually happened, and so I read the books to my children before, with my students, and they really enjoy it. So they ask a lot of scientific questions. The points about homosexuality didn't really come out in the discussion. So I think those people who mentioned that this book is not appropriate for kids should actually step into a classroom with many young children from 3 to 5 and have a discussion with them about the book, and then they will see the reality.
I think this is really an event for everybody. Not everybody realizes that, because this is about defending a common space. The library is something that belongs to everyone. It should not be a place that promotes the value of only a particular group of people. Because we also feel like once this space is lost as a common space, the society is going to get messy. And if you look at books and the nature of books, they all tend to have a certain level where they challenge us as a reader, and to be offended by a book, I think that seems to be coming from an angle of someone who doesn't read books, because reading itself challenges us. It opens our minds, and if it doesn't open your mind, then something is wrong with the process in which we look at books. And so I think any readers here who come down today, I believe they have that kind of conviction. They have a love of books from that perspective, and this is why we need to do this, because this is a secular space. It belongs to all of us.
Since I was among those who decided to boycott the event, it's only right that I come here to support the event, because I feel that it's a very good cause, and the fact that the whole NLB fiasco hinges on helping books and not giving the right of free flow of information to parents, to anybody who wants to read, which I think is not right. I think that's not the library's job to dictate what we can read to our children. That's the parents' job.
Frankly, a lot more people came than I expected, and I'm really glad, because a lot of people brought their kids, their godchildren, nieces, nephews, and it's just, the whole point of this was for us to encourage more people to read with their kids. My whole agenda was just simply to raise awareness using the current popularity of the topic of libraries and books to just emphasize that it's better to read with your children at all than to forbid others from reading certain books with their kids. So that's what I'm doing, being proactive, and this is so heartening. We've had so much support from parents with kids just coming out and saying, oh, we had so much fun reading, we made new friends, we shared our books with so and so, and they also enjoyed the books we brought to share with them, which is really wonderful, because my team's been sitting here like lending out books every day, like every few minutes, like a mini library. So it's really good for them to know that their effort has made children happy today.
I'm really pleased with how it's gone. There seems to have been like a really good turnout, and it's really great to see the diversity of people who have come. You can see so many families, children of various ages, you know, people who are here with or without kids, and from, you know, a whole range of backgrounds. So that's really great. I'm also really pleased that everybody's really got into the spirit of the event. So I mean, what we were trying to do here was to basically make to celebrate the joy of children's literature, but also to make available books that we thought were you know, really captured the spirit of why we think children's literature is valuable. And I guess we've had a little makeshift library here, and people have really got to the spirit of it. They've been borrowing the books, reading them, discussing them, and also even contributing books of their own. That's very much what we wanted to do. Our aim was to, you know, make available these books, and I feel that we've done that, and people seem to be having a good time, and that's really all we hoped for. Yeah.
We've asked this of everyone actually. What is the take on what NLB has done? Effectively, the process that they have to sort of curate these books and basically decide what goes, what stays, and in effect the final action they've taken against these books. I mean, share with us your personal take on this.
Yeah, I mean, I find it very disappointing. I was surprised that these books should be taken out to begin with, because it seems to me that they seem like very good books. They're critically acclaimed, and obviously they were stopped for a reason. But also what's odd is that the NLB has said that they are doing it because of objections by parents. But there are, as you can see here, there are so many parents who also either find value in these books and positively want to show them to their children, or alternatively don't mind having them available, or perhaps maybe they don't agree with things in the books but are happy to discuss them with their children. So it seems disappointing that the reactions of parents who do want access to the books has not really affected NLB's decision making. It seems odd to me that everybody should be denied access to the books because some people don't like them, when those people are free to like not borrow them or guide their children through them. And it's even, I guess what's even more shocking is this morning's announcement that books are not usually pulped, but that these will be, rather than being given to someone else or donated to someone else. You know, what we tried to do with this event today is to make the books available if NLB won't do it, and it seems that to me that principle could also be applied more broadly, that if NLB doesn't want to have these books in circulation, they could at least let someone else make them available.
That's one last question about how you plan to take this forward. I mean, there's good turnout here. There's also been a lot of reactions online. I mean, we particularly know about that. So what do you see as the way moving forward? How do you think a library should be, and how are you going to contribute to this thing?
It's hard to say. I mean, this event, as you know, was organised very quickly. Jermaine and I started to organise it on Thursday, and it's happened today. So it's only a couple of days. I think it would be premature to say that we have longer term plans. What I do think this event has shown is that there's an appetite for these books being made available. So I would hope that there will at least be some way in which that can continue. It would be great if, I mean, in the ideal world, NLB would put them back on the shelves. But if they won't do that, there should be some solution where they can at least make them available to others, especially since at least one of these books I think is out of print. So then destroying it is particularly powerful because they're not being made, like new copies are not being made anymore.
Questions remain about the process that NLB had for the review of the library's collection. Most are also here to lament the loss of what they feel were good educational material for children. Many also felt that the library should not be deciding on family values and that parents should have the resources available to do this job themselves.